A person of interest was detained and questioned and then released overnight in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. And more scrutiny for Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick following emerging details from the Epstein files. We'll catch you up.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Welcome to Mountain News This Morning. I'm Neely Green here with you on this Wednesday, February 11th. The time is now 4:59, and let's check in with meteorologist Megan Desmond for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, with the rain, it just sounded so nice. It's hard for me to get out of bed this morning.
Yeah, it was kind of nice. I was being lulled by the raindrops on my, roof. But as we head throughout your day, that's going to clear itself out. We're going to look a lot drier, but let's track what you need to know until then. We're seeing some fog for our more southern counties. Nothing too crazy. It's primarily where that rain is sitting this morning. You'll notice it's just for our southern counties. Our northern counties are already dry for the day. Just as I mentioned, it's going to clear out relatively soon, and then we're going to have a pretty great Wednesday ahead. Let's talk about those temperatures, though. Right now, we're sitting in a mixture of the 40s and 30s. It's really not that bad. However, those temperatures are going to drop throughout the next several hours and then warm back up as we head into the afternoon to about the same temperatures that we're seeing right now. So don't be fooled by the currents and the forecast highs looking the same. There is still a dip in those temperatures as we head into the middle of the morning hours and then back up to those high temperatures by the afternoon. Neely.
Megan, thank you. A report of a possible active shooter at the Hazard Appalachian Regional Healthcare Facility on Tuesday night prompted a massive emergency response. First responders, including local police, state police, and emergency management, quickly secured the scene. After a thorough investigation, authorities determined there was no threat. No shots were fired, and the hospital is now declared safe. The Hazard Police Department is investigating the initial report. A Pulaski County man is dead after he fell off a bluff. It happened on Military Road around 6 yesterday. The Pulaski County coroner identified the man as James Ransack. We're told he was clearing a brush fire around the property and fell. He died on the way to the hospital, and we're working to learn more about what happened, and we'll update you once we know more. Governor Andy Beshear announced multiple indictments have been made in a licensing fraud investigation. The governor's office says a federal grand jury in Louisville returned an indictment charging 5 Louisville residents with fraud and money laundering offenses. Irregularities were noticed by the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, and they contacted law enforcement. KYTC officials reportedly revoked nearly 2,000 credentials. Beshear has also appointed Jeremy Slinkner as Deputy Secretary for KYTC to improve operations at licensing offices. This morning, investigators are still trying to find the mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, now 11 days since her disappearance. Overnight, federal and local authorities searched an Arizona home and said that person was detained and questioned in the connection to the case. But early this morning, the man said he was released. CBS's News' Bradley Blackburn has more on the breaking developments from New York.
The search for Nancy Guthrie, mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, continues. Overnight, the FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department said they had conducted a search at a house in Rio Rico, Arizona, a community near the border that's about an hour south of Tucson, and that a person had been detained in connection to the case during a traffic stop.
I don't know anything.
This man says he was held and later released.
They just told me to stop moving. Like, what's your name? Carlos, and that's it. They put me in the cop car. I hope they get the suspect, because I'm not it. They better do their job and find the suspect that did it so they can clear my name.
FBI Director Kash Patel said this on Fox News last night before it all began to unfold.
With any investigation, you are a person of interest until you're either eliminated or you're actually found to be the culprit or the culprits involved.
These developments came hours after the FBI released chilling new images of an armed, masked person wearing gloves outside Nancy Guthrie's home, captured by a security camera the night she went missing.
Hopefully the trap is closing on this suspect. Hopefully they feel that pressure. This is the break they needed.
Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Overnight, a senior Trump administration official said the White House is monitoring the situation in Tucson closely. The FBI and Pima County Sheriff are urging people with any information that could help them to find Nancy Guthrie to please call their tip lines. In Washington, lawmakers continue to comb through unredacted Epstein files, with some calling for Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick to be held accountable after new disclosures of his contacts with Epstein. On Capitol Hill, Lutnick acknowledged taking his family to Epstein's Island for lunch in 2012, despite previous claims he had cut ties years before.
Who allegedly had business with Epstein after he was convicted of pedophilia, and he still is in the cabinet.
I don't recall why we did it.
The White House was also asked whether President Trump is considering a pardon for Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. The press secretary said it's not something he's considering. There were some ties to Kentucky found in some of the Jeffrey Epstein files. One of Epstein's pilots, Dave Rogers, requested to take time off to attend Eastern Kentucky University's homecoming in 2018. The Herald Leader reports Rogers is cooperating with the FBI's investigation onto Epstein. According to the Herald Leader, the files also mention Epstein being asked to donate to Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell, saying no. And the files also mention that researcher who received money from Epstein and considered working at the University of Kentucky. New analysis shows ICE repeatedly has held people in custody after courts ordered their immediate release. It also indicates the Trump administration has imposed release conditions that judges never authorized. The analysis stems from immigration cases the chief judge of Minnesota's federal court flagged. In about 24 of them, records show judges have used words like contempt and noncompliance to threaten the Justice Department. The West Virginia State House unanimously passed a bill yesterday that looks to give additional rights to foster children. The bill gives foster children who are 13 and older the added right to know about and attend their hearings about their cases, including virtually. Delegate Evan Worrell says foster children have a right to know what's going on in their cases, especially when it could affect their life.
Things that these foster care children have been shut out from in the past. So a big deal. Who better than someone who's been through that process to bring that issue to us and to make sure that she advocates for how we need to make that change.
The House also unanimously passed a bill establishing the Blue Envelope program in the state, which is intended to lead to safer interactions between law enforcement and people with autism and other intellectual and developmental disabilities. The West Virginia state legislature is looking at a bill that would make changes to the high school athletes' transfer rules. Right now in West Virginia, any student can transfer schools once and retain their athletic eligibility without needing the approval of the West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission. But under the proposed bill, any incoming juniors and seniors wanting to transfer and play athletics for their new school in the upcoming year would need to get permission from the organization. The executive director says he believes it would rein in some transfers.
And I think that would be a pretty solid compromise between where we used to be that worked well and where the state legislature put us, which has obviously increased the number of transfers and allowed students to transfer during the school year, which has really created havoc for our athletic programs.
The House Education Committee still needs to mark up the bill and then vote on passing it to the House floor. Well, thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Grocery shopping is turning political in Denmark, with some residents looking to steer clear of American brands. We'll have the latest.
And we had record-breaking temperatures yesterday. I'll tell you by just how much coming up.